Hi, you guys. It's Yaz, and today I'm going to talk about how narcissists just suck the life out of you. And you will find that if you've been around enough narcissists or you've been around a narcissist, what they do, you guys, is they are going to leave you exhausted. You're going to be so tired after dealing with a narcissist. So let me go into 10 ways how narcissists suck the life out of you. Number one way, and this everybody pretty much knows, constant arguing, okay? Nothing ever is resolved with a narcissist. It's always a battle. It's always a war. So how do you think that's going to leave you? That's going to leave you exhausted. That's going to suck the life out of you because no matter what you say, the narcissist is going to say the opposite, or they're going to blame you. So if you say something is red, they're going to say it's green. Or if you try to get them accountable, they're going to say, no, it's your fault. And what are you going to do? You're going to end up going back and forth and argue with them if you don't realize the game. And at the end, you're not going to get anywhere, but what you are going to do is you're going to exhaust yourself. That's what you're going to do. You're going to end up exhausting yourself going back and forth with that narcissist. The other way narcissists suck the life out of you is constant confusion by gaslighting. So narcissists, this is why I tell you, you got to know your gaslighting phrases, right? To spot the toxic person that you're dealing with. But they'll say things like, I don't remember what happened, or I don't remember what happened yesterday, or it didn't happen like that. These are common gaslighting phrases. Or they'll say something like, you're crazy, you don't know what you're talking about, you're delusional, when it's really the narcissist who's delusional, right? So they're constantly going to gaslight to confuse you. And what does confusion do? Confusion causes brain fog, okay? Because what happens is you start to lose your sense of what's right and what's wrong. You start to doubt reality. You start to doubt what the truth is. And you say to yourself, could I be wrong? Am I crazy? Maybe I'm the one that's crazy. Maybe it's my fault. This is what gaslighting does, okay? It confuses you. Now, what's the end result of all of that? Well, the end result of all of that is you start to think that you're the problem when you're not. That's why you've got to stay focused, okay? What do I say in all my podcasts? You've got to sharpen your mind and be focused. You've got to spot the game. You've got to be able to spot the gaslighting phrases so that when they come out with these phrases, you say, not today, Satan. That's gaslighting. You're trying to confuse me. You're not going to sway me. Not today, Satan, okay? I know I'm on point. I know I'm right. I know I'm speaking the facts. This person is toxic. This person is trying to confuse me with the gaslighting. But what's the end result of all that? You're going to be exhausted, okay? Now, if you're not focused and you don't know much about narcissism, what happens is they confuse you. Then they start to cause cognitive dissonance where, you start to see two versions of the truth because you know what the truth is. But now the narcissist is gaslighting you to make you think that the truth is something else. And what does all of this do? It exhausts you, okay? It tires you out. It tires your brain out. So when you're constantly tired, when your mind is constantly going, trying to figure things out, all right? It's like when you constantly are studying for a test. You're going to be tired. You're going to be exhausted. So when your mind is tired from trying to figure out the narcissist and trying to figure out if they're telling you the truth, if they're lying, it's going to suck the life out of you. Because when your mind is tired, it's going to tire your body as well, all right? This is why people do yoga. This is why people do meditation, because to alleviate the stress of the mind so that they could be at peace, all right? So that the body could be at peace. But when you deal with narcissists, they suck the life out of you by arguing, gaslighting, all right? The other way, how narcissists suck the life out of you is that they give you anxiety and depression. See, whatever the narcissist has, they're going to project it onto you. They want to take you down, all right? They want to take you down for a lot of different reasons. They could be jealous of you. They want to feel superior. And they themselves have the anxiety and depression. See, not enough people talk about this, but the narcissist is actually a victim themselves, probably of having dealt with a narcissistic person who did that to them, all right? Devalued them and put them down and judged them. Now they're doing it to you. They're the ones with the anxiety and depression. And what they're trying to do is break you down, which causes a lot of people to end up with anxiety and depression. And this, you guys, sucks the life out of you, because nothing tires you out more than depression, okay? If you've ever suffered from depression, it's so subtle, and you don't even realize that you're suffering from depression. A lot of times people, they may be having trouble in their marriage or their relationship, and they may be fighting and arguing and everything like that. But the end result of all that is you're going to start to get depressed, because you're dealing with somebody who's putting you down constantly. Maybe putting down the way you look, putting down what you've accomplished in your life, putting down how you act. They're trying to make you inferior. What is the end? That takes away your self-worth, right? But that also will cause a lot of people to be depressed and go into a depression. This is why a lot of victims of narcissistic abuse, victims end up in therapy because of their depression that the narcissist has inflicted on them. All right. So the narcissist had gone to the dark side, right? They went to the dark side because they're all about lies. They're all about deception. They're all about misleading. They're all about things of the devil. They all follow Satan's principles. So what they're going to do is they're going to try to make you go to the dark side. And the way that they make you go to the dark side is by filling you with that demonic spirit of anxiety and depression. And this is how, and what's anxiety and depression do? It destroys people, you guys. It destroys people unless you actually can spot what's going on, recognize it, and get a hold of yourself and say, not today, Satan. I'm not going to be anxious. I'm not going to be afraid. You're not going to fill me with fear of that anxiety. I'm not going to be depressed. I'm going to pull myself out of this black hole any which way I have to do it. But I'm going to lift myself up. I'm not going to bring myself down into that black hole that narcissist wants to take me down, okay? Because just because that narcissist has gone to the other side and does things in an evil spirited type of way, they're not going to take me down, all right? But this is what they want. And all of this is going to exhaust you. So the point is this, you guys. You're going to be filled with depression. You may feel like you can't get out of bed. You're tired. You may cancel plans with friends, like you just don't want to go anywhere. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to leave the house, okay? All of this is depression. That's what it is. It's depression from what you went through. You just feel like, oh, what's the point? Nothing makes you happy. That's depression. Recognize it. You're depressed if you're feeling this way. So you have to get out of your comfort zone. You may have to seek therapy. You have to get out of the house. You got to take a walk. You got to do things like exercise, boosts your mood, all right? Exercise is great for anxiety and depression. It is great. I mean, and it doesn't have to be anything big. Just go take a walk. I'm telling you, you guys, just getting out of the house, taking a walk, going to a store, meeting a friend will lift you up in some way. It gets you out of that depressed state that you've gone into of hopelessness, all right? And that's what I needed to bring up as well. They suck the life out of you and leave you hopeless. So many people, after dealing with a narcissist, feel hopeless. They give up. You can't give up just because you dealt with a narcissist. You've got to understand what you went through. You dealt with a toxic person, but not everybody in this world is toxic. Are a lot of people toxic in this world? Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. And the smarter you become, the more you will see it, that there are a lot of toxic and narcissistic people in the world, that it is all over the place. But there are also good, kind people in the world as well. And you've got to realize just because you had a bad experience with a narcissist doesn't mean that you can't be happy with someone else. And you can. But you've got to use your discernment in selecting who you want to be around, okay? That's what God gave you, discernment, to be able to vet out who is good and who is bad. But see, so many people don't do this. I didn't do this when I was younger. I didn't know any of this really, okay? But it was through my life experiences that I realized that in order to be happy with somebody, you have to vet them out. And I did a podcast. I'm going to drop this podcast, okay, about how to do all this, how to vet out the narcissist, right? But all of this is going to, leave you very tired, very depressed, and everything like that, having to deal with these narcissists. So I talked about, depression. The narcissist puts you in the depression. That's when you're tired, you're depressed, you lose hope and everything, and you got to pull yourself out. Also, they put you with that state of anxiety where you're nervous about everything, all right? You're always nervous, or you always think that everybody's, you start to get paranoid as well after dealing with a paranoid narcissist, because all of that rubs off on you, which is like narcissistic fleas. That's what we call them. Narcissistic fleas, where the traits of the narcissist could rub off on you if you're not self-aware of what's going on. So, a lot of times people that have been around narcissists can become narcissistic as well. And I've seen that. I've seen people married to narcissists get divorced and then get in another relationship and find somebody who's the opposite of who they married and may control them. And now they've become narcissistic, bossing them around the way their marital partner treated them. So you guys, let me regroup here and talk about how all the ways they suck the life out of you: constant arguing, constant gaslighting to confuse the brain. They give you anxiety where you're nervous all the time. Constant depression. Anxiety, depression is going to wipe you off your feet, all right? Anxiety is going to put your body in hyper alert where you can't relax. Constant worrying, okay? This is what happens when you're around a narcissist. It's early, you guys. Constant worrying, where you're constantly worried about the narcissist reaction. You're going to be a bundle of nerves. You're going to be afraid to say this, say that they're going to say something to make you feel uneasy. They're going to criticize you, all right? Narcissists will criticize you. They won't accept whatever you have to say. So you're going to have that constant worrying, and all of this is going to exhaust you. Now, moving along, how narcissists suck the life out of you, you may start crying because of all the confusion and all the loneliness. Anytime you cry, anytime you get upset, it breaks down your immunity, okay? How do I know this? From experience, all right? A lot of times, I may have been upset, and I try not to cry because I know that by crying sometimes, it's going to wear down my system, okay? Where the next day I may wake up, I have a runny nose, I have a cold because I was crying the day before from being upset, and it wore down my immunity, all right? Not to say that you shouldn't get your emotions out. I mean, obviously, if you're upset, and you need to get those emotions out too, because, to keep that bottled up will hurt you internally in your body as well. So, but the point I'm trying to make is all of that crying and feeling like you've done everything that you could do to try to work things out with this narcissist, this is going to suck the life out of you, okay? So you're crying because you're confused why this person isn't who they were in the beginning. You're also feeling lonely and unloved because the narcissist is a cold fish, all right? They weren't cold in the beginning because they wanted something out of you. But now you see they're a cold fish, all right? They ignore you, watch TV, they're on their phones constantly. You feel alone in the relationship. That's because you are fucking alone, all right? And regardless of what they say to you, oh, if I didn't care about you, I wouldn't be here. Yes, you would. You're here for some other fucking reason, but you're trying to gaslight me and say you're here because you really care about me. Well, here's what I have to say to that. If they really care about you, they better show it, all right? Because if they are not showing it, then they don't really care about you, and they could be there for other reasons. They might be there for money. They may be there and not looking for a divorce because they don't want to split assets and deal with every other weekends with their kids for child support, all right? So there's a lot of reasons why they'll stay with you, but they'll gaslight and say it's for love because they want to fool you, right? But the point I'm trying to make is all of this is going to tire you out, all right? You're also going to be tired out because, you're not getting fulfilled. So when you're not getting fulfilled, you're going to have that anxiety and depression. I'm telling you, you guys, this anxiety and depression, don't poo-poo it. Don't downplay it, because anxiety and depression can destroy people, all right? And I've seen it. So theretofore, okay? These are all the ways that narcissists will suck the life out of you and will break you, all right? The other thing too, I'm going on my list because I always do these list things, right? The other way that they suck the life out of you is they turn you into a detective, okay? They turn you into a private investigator where you've always feel like you got to track the narcissist. I have clients or people that I've dealt with that have gone crazy because the narcissist has gaslit them so much, cheated on them so much that they became detective, okay? They've become Columbo, okay? So they have had to put tracking devices to try to get the truth on the narcissist, and they didn't want to, but they needed the truth. And, it's like if you have to do that, you have to know you're already in a toxic relationship. If you feel the need that you have to track somebody, you're not with the right person. That person, if you feel that they're probably doing something like cheating on you, then trust your gut, because 9 times out of 10, they probably are, okay? It's like a New York detective friend of mine, all right? He said to me, all right, he used to do this kind of work, and he said he used to have all these women that used to come to him, where they wanted him to track their husbands or whatever, right? And he said they used to spend all this money, but I used to tell them, you don't need to spend all this money. Trust your gut. If your gut is telling you pretty much that there's something going on, then 99.9% of the time something's going on. But all of this, tracking your partner, okay? And it could be a female too. It could be the wife too, all right? All of this is going to exhaust you, all right? Checking their phones, checking their social media, seeing where they are at all times. All of this is going to exhaust you. Being Columbo, being a detective exhausts you. So, who the hell wants to have to worry where the narcissist is day and night? Not me, baby. Not today, Satan. There's better things and other things I could be doing with my life than having to track somebody. Nobody needs to track somebody, all right? So not today, Satan. I don't need to track you. If I have to track you, if I have to track you, I already know you're no good, okay? You're no good. So that will be exhausting. So the point in all this is the narcissist is going to suck the life out of you, because you're never going to have your peace, gang. You're never going to have your peace with these people. They don't give you peace. They don't give you clarity. They're not transparent. So they're going to cause unrest within yourself. They're going to cause anxiety. They're going to cause depression. They're going to bring you down. They're going to turn you into a detective Columbo chasing and trying to find the truth. Do you really need this shit? No, not today, Satan. All right? Somebody you should be with is somebody who brings you peace. somebody who you could trust when they say something that it's truth, because they've proved to you over a period of time that they're the real deal. It's not over 1 month or 3 months or 6 months. It's over a period of time. You know this person has good character, all right? So, moving along, all right? If you're a private investigator. Okay, the other way they suck the life out of you, and of course I've got to bring this in because a lot of my people out there dealing with divorces, dealing with, going to court with the narcissist, they're sucking the life out of you by dragging you in and out of court. Nobody loves the court system to drag you in and out more than a vicious narcissist that wants to make you suffer for a divorce, okay? One thing that you're going to realize when you deal with a narcissist that you're divorcing, they're going to love to drag you in and out of court because it's a way for them to torture you, all right? You'll never, ever just get it over with really quickly. They don't want to they want to drag you out, okay? Especially if you're the one that left them because you're disgusted with them. They want to make you suffer. And the way that they make you suffer is by dragging you in and out of court. They don't even care. They rather give money to their lawyer than give money to you just to make you suffer by going to court, okay? Next, they just make everything harder to try to torture you. They need constant attention, too. Narcissists need constant attention. And what's that going to do? That's going to exhaust you. That's going to suck the life out of you because you're constantly worried. Are they happy? You got to constantly flatter them, make them feel good. Or they may give you a mood or give you the silent treatment. So you're trying to keep the peace, right? So you have to constantly be nice to them, walk on eggshells, tell them they're right. Give them attention, or the narcissist may try to make you pay for that by, freezing you out, ignoring you, icing you, giving you the silent treatment. So this is exhausting, okay? It's just flat out exhausting, trying to make the narcissist happy so that you could have peace. You shouldn't have to do this. You should be able to be yourself. When you're in a healthy relationship, you guys, you will be able to be yourself. But when you're with a toxic narcissist, you're not going to be able to feel you could be yourself, all right? This is your clue that you're dealing with a toxic person. You can't be yourself. So you're going to be constantly worried about, keeping them happy. So they just wear you down. And they're never agreeable, and they do everything counter, all right? They counter parent. They counter anything that you say. They never validate you. And the end result is they just suck the life out of you. They exhaust you. You're exhausted. And you've got to get yourself out of that pit and recognize that, nothing is ever going to be peaceful with the narcissist. And when you have chaos, you have confusion, the end result is fatigue, exhaustion, and then, if you let it happen for a while, it could affect you internally, your internal health, all right? So your mental health is going to affect your physical health down the road, and this is what people don't realize, and it does, and I've seen it. I've seen how it could cause you to have stomach issues, thyroid issues, heart issues, high blood pressure, cancer, losing your hair, all these different kinds of physical illnesses that could happen from just mental stress, high cortisol levels. It's going to break your body down. You're going to be exhausted, and it's going to cause you to go into a depression. Some people become suicidal, okay? I've had people that have contacted me because of these kind of things, all right? So the thing is, you've got to get a hold of it. You've got to get a hold of it. You've got to get therapy. You've got to get help, and you've got to get out of that black hole. Listen, the point is, it's all about what they're doing is they're depressing you. And this is a demon, okay? The narcissist is trying to fill you with that demon of depression. And that depression is what will kill you. So you've got to recognize the enemy. You've got to recognize the demon, All right. This is a demon. There's all different kinds of spirits, demon spirits. This is a demon spirit of anxiety and depression. And this is what they're trying to do to you, to break you down, break your self-worth down, break your physical and mental health. Get yourself together. Go get your therapy if you need therapy. If you can't see what's going on, educate yourself on narcissism. Give yourself time, get out, get into the outdoors, get some fresh air, go walking, get exercise, get around other people. It's very important human connectivity to be around other people. People don't realize this. And this is another thing I want to bring up with this self-love, self-love, self-love. Yes, it's important to respect yourself, but if you become too self-consumed with self-love, self-love, that, some people can go into a depression by being alone, all right? So we as human beings have to be connected. We can't just live. I mean, you can, but that's not what we are built for. We are built for human connectivity. So in order to make yourself happy and boost your mood, you need to get out and be around other people. All right. It's very important. I saw a big difference with my children during the pandemic when the schools were closed and everything, just in their moods and everything, because of the lack of connection with other people. And they need that engagement. You need to be engaged around other people. It affects your mood and your mental health, and it will affect you down the road, your physical health. So you guys, this, I'm going on, but this is all the ways that the narcissist sucks the life out of you. I hope this helps you. If it does, please hit the subscribe, share the podcast. If you're looking for confidential one-on-one phone coaching, check out the link in the bio at askyaz.wixsite.com/thegameexposed. If you're confused, you don't know if you're dealing with a narcissist, what kind of narcissist they are, and you need clarity, you need advice, check out that link in the bio. Also, you guys, check out the YouTube, over 6,000 videos. I pretty much laid everything down on there at the Game Exposed podcast. TikTok is the Game Exposed, and Instagram is the Game EXP123. And have a great day.